created the perception himself. Why wouldn't he condemn Hamas? Why wouldn't he condemn Hasan Piker? Why did it take us here tonight for the first time for him to say it? He denounced, globalized the intifada.
Yesterday, I live reacted to the first New York City mayoral debate. Now, coming into this race, Zoran already had a significant advantage, seemingly the approval of the majority in recent polls that were conducted right before the debate. And I suspect that after the debate, his approval even went up higher. I do think that Andrew Cuomo's performance was so spectacularly bad that he will probably lose support after this debate. But who knows? People are very stupid sometimes. Now, of course, one of the reasons that Zoran Mamdani's mayoral poll leading up to this debate was at 52%, up +5. Andrew Cuomo was -1 at 28%, and Curtis Sliwa was at 14% with a +3. The reason why I suspect that is because, as John DeLillo correctly pointed to, what you have to remember is this poll was conducted before Zoran refused to condemn Hasan Piker on the debate stage, which is true, because that did happen. That did happen
Look now.
on the debate stage. Zoran Mamdani, in an act of resilience, refused to condemn the dangerous Hasan Hassanabi Piker. Now, of course, there were some other more relevant positions, not like cost of living crisis that New Yorkers are facing. Obviously, that was irrelevant because it took 50 minutes for the debate moderators to finally get to that issue on the New York City mayoral race debate, and only like 10 minutes to get to the important issue that actually matters. Israel. Fears that Jewish people have that Muslim man is scary and Israel. Will you actually defend Israel? Will you send the New York Police Department to defend Israel against other October 7th style incidents? Okay. After all, that's the only thing that matters, obviously. Will you do parades in Israel? Will you do Israel style parades? Will you actually do fast and free buses if Israel doesn't want you to do fast and free buses? You know, things like that. Very cool. Anyway, here's the moment.
Protected, but they will belong.
Mr. Sliwa, we will get to you first. I'm going to ask a question of Mr. Cuomo. While you are a strong supporter of Israel, you have also been slow to develop a relationship with the city's Muslim community.
Thank you, Universal Power user, for this one to get the subs.
A terrorist sympathizer. How do you assure those New Yorkers, especially Muslims and Arabic New Yorkers, that you will be a mayor for all? You'll have 1 minute.
Yeah, well, first, I think the Assemblyman created the perception himself. Why wouldn't he condemn Hamas? Why wouldn't he condemn Hasan Piker? Why did it take us here tonight for the first time for him to say it? He still won't denounce, globalize the intifada.
I think his face is so funny here. It's just like what a spectacle this is. It's just, you might as well throw in the towel at that point.
Which means kill all Jews. Just say, I denounce it. He won't do it.
Older Jewish New Yorkers are looking up right now.
Can you address the question? Can you please answer about your own relationship with the Muslim community?
What is this? Cuomo, do you condemn Hasan Piker? Mamdani, free buses increase safety and efficiency. Sliwa, it was a cold night in 1998. Frank Sinatra had just faked his own death, and the Yankees were headed to the World Series. Yeah. And even though that was an idiotic fucking take, he did it again. He brought it up again when asked about his Islamophobia, okay? It's ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. Let's get to some other shit. Let's get to the issues that really matter for the New York mayoral debate. You got the Yahoo article? Yahoo. Oh, from Mediaite. Mamdani condemns Hasan Piker for reprehensible 9/11 comment in heated battle with Cuomo during debate. Anyway, most of it is just like his takes on the occupation. This is just like a SEO bait article. But in any case, your heart must have sunk into your stomach when you heard your name like that? No, I knew that it was happening. I knew that it was going to happen. How else would I have been able to predict it ahead of time? I said it. I said it before the debate. Yeah, here is me saying it before the debate that I know for a fact almost that I will be brought up in tonight's debate.
You think so?
as a line of attack. Have you seen the Andrew Cuomo press conference that he did on 9/11?
Oh, yeah. That quote. That's gonna be on your tombstone, brother.
He's going to bring it up, I think, to be like,
you really think so?
Oh, 100%. He's so desperate. He has nothing.
The assemblyman will not denounce Hasan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. The assemblyman just said in his response, well, it depends on occupation. That is code, meaning that Israel does not have a right to exist as a Jewish state, which he has never acknowledged. That is from the river to the sea. That's why he won't denounce globalized intifada, which means kill. Why wouldn't he condemn Hamas? Why wouldn't he condemn Hasan Piker?
Pre-watch Piker.
Why did it take us here tonight for the first time for him to say it? He still won't denounce globalized intifada, which means kill all Jews. Just say, I denounce it. He won't do it.
Older Jewish New Yorkers are looking up right now.
And his divisiveness is ironic.
I still think he had a third one in the chamber. If Zoran hadn't swerved him later, yeah. I wonder if he is dumb enough to try it again. Because, like I said already, at most, what Zoran will do if he's consistently fucking backed into the corner is just be like, yeah, fuck him. I don't know him, right? I don't know the guy. He could just do that. Obviously, that's a little fake if he were to do that. But regardless, like at most, if he kept pushing it over and over again, that's what he could easily say. So it just doesn't make any fucking sense for him to keep pressing this because, like, you're trying to win. If you're Andrew Cuomo, you're trying to win, right? You're trying to win the mayoral race. Your higher priority here isn't to disparage me because at most, if he fucking threw me under the bus, then all that does is just fuck me over. You know what I mean? For a little bit. Like, are you running? Are you running to be the next mayor of New York? Or are you running to, I guess, attack Israel's critics? You know? All right.
Of course, I believe that they should lay down their arms. I'm proud to be one of the first elected officials in the state who called for a ceasefire. And calling for a ceasefire means seizing fire. That means all parties have to cease fire and put down their weapons. And the reason that we call for that.
Yeah, I mean, this was when he said all parties should put it down. He was trying to do the both sides thing, which I think is like not necessarily a retreat in general, but he was trying to do the same. Like, oh, I think Israel has a right to exist as long as everybody has equal rights and representation. He's basically doing that same thing where he's saying like, look, I think it's fine for both parties to disarm and put their weapons down, knowing that is the most like liberalized version of like the most liberal way of communicating that position.
Is not only for the end of the genocide, but also an unimpeded access of humanitarian aid. I, like many New Yorkers, am hopeful that this ceasefire will hold. I'm hopeful that it is durable. I'm hopeful that it is just.
The President of the United States should have been applauded by you, Zoran Mandami, and you, Andrew Cuomo, on the day that he brought together that international coalition that met in Egypt, that came from the Middle East and the Persian Gulf. I certainly applauded him for bringing peace to Gaza and trying to end the hostilities in the war between the Israelis and Hamas, so there can be peace between the Israelis and peace between the Palestinians. But you seem, Zoran, to be incapable of praising our president. And Andrew, you were incapable of praising our president.
We have
Give credit where credit is due. He's brought peace to Gaza.
I did applaud President Trump and his...
This is the fucking stupidest question. Why won't you applaud our big, beautiful president for putting forth the same ceasefire conditions that existed for a year now after 9 additional months of genocide? Like, stop, dude. Is he a fucking king? Is he a god? He's the goddamn president. Calm down. How is this even... This isn't even relevant to the Israel-Palestine conversation. Like, we've moved even beyond that. One should ask, why is this even an issue of utmost importance in the fucking New York mayoral race? And that's a valid question to begin with. But then to move beyond the Israel-Palestine situation and be like, why won't you praise Donald Trump? Like, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? What a fucking idiotic spectacle, dude. So dumb.
Administration, I think it was a great accomplishment. I hope the peace holds. The assemblyman will not denounce Hamas. The assemblyman will not denounce Hasan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. The assemblyman just said in his response, well, it depends on occupation. That is code, meaning that Israel does not have a right.
Bro literally took the long road to be like, he is doing taqiyya, the Muslimic Mohammedan practice of lying to the Christians in an effort to implement Sharia law. He's doing taqueria, and it's not Taco Tuesday. He's in code signaling to his Mohammedan counterparts that he wants to do Sharia jihad. Yeah, look at the comments. Look at the fucking comments. New York City mayoral candidate spar over Israel-Gaza positions. Is this a debate for the mayor of Tel Aviv or New York? What does Israel have to do with New York City? Mayoral candidate for New York, America. X. New York, Israel. Check. Again, why was the host asking Israel questions? Just focus on New York City, please. You didn't denounce Hasan Piker. Jesus fucking Christ. This is what political debates are now. Why we have Israel in New York City mayor elections for what? Always Israel. Why do they always talk about Israel? What's this got to do with the mayoral race? As a non-American, it's astounding to see how deep and strong Israel's hold on American politics is. Public office candidates, even at the city level, which has nothing to do with foreign policy, are required by the state mechanism and media to pledge their allegiance to Israel. Haaretz reporter, New York correspondent for Haaretz, Etan Nechin says, I didn't know Israel and Gaza were boroughs of New York. What do your parents think when they see former governor and still sex pest Andrew Cuomo trying to drag you on TV? I mean, they don't give a shit. They know what this is. They're used to it. It is what it is. But yeah, I think this is the broad, if you want to understand like what the average person's perspective is on this shit, okay? That's what it is. Why the fuck are these guys talking about Israel so much? Who cares? And not only do they take this approach, but they also agree with Zoran's position as well. Okay? That's the other thing. This is not an issue that's important in this debate. And even if it is, even if people are thinking about Israel, they are not siding with Andrew Cuomo's position. They're siding with Zoran Mamdani's position. Do you understand? Most people are saying, well, what the fuck? Mayor of Israel or New York City?
To exist as a Jewish state, which he has never acknowledged. That is from the river to the sea. That's why he won't globalize the Intifada, which means kill all Jews.
Let's give Mr. Mamdani a chance to respond to that.
I want to be very clear. The occupation is a reference to international law and the violation of it, which Mr. Cuomo has no regard for since he signed up to be Benjamin Netanyahu's legal defense team.
Bars. Absolute bars. Once again, boom. Roasted.
During the course of this genocide. And I find the comments that Hasan made on 9/11 to be objectionable and reprehensible. And I also think that part of the reason why Democrats are in the situation that we are in, of being a permanent minority in this country, is we are looking only to speak to journalists and streamers and Americans with whom we agree of every single thing that they say. We need to take the case to every person, and I'm happy to do that.
We thank you.
And then they cut him off, but throwing me under the bus in that situation would be, I don't know Hasan Piker. I'm sorry for ever talking to Hasan Piker. He is a bad guy. You know what I mean? That's a bad thing he said, and he's a fucking bad guy. That's throwing me under the bus. Him saying, I don't agree with his statements, they're reprehensible on 9/11, that is perfectly valid. What do you want him to do? Make it an actual fucking issue? Are you stupid? Because if he were to turn around and try to defend this, okay, and be like, well, what Hasan was talking about is actually America's adventurism in the region leading to 9/11, and he misspoke in 2019, then all of a sudden, that's going to be the major issue here. That's so stupid. You have to tactically retreat in situations like that. He literally defends talking to me and others like myself. Of course, he did the he worked through that in the best possible way. He has 15 seconds to respond to a packaged smear. Obviously, he has a finite amount of time there, very limited amount of time to respond appropriately, and he did it perfectly well, as he has done time and time again. I guess the strongest way to approach it, if we're going to talk about like the worst possible way to approach it, is like throw me under the bus, saying like, yeah, I shouldn't have talked to him or whatever, which would have been horrible, by the way, because that would make him look weak. Not that like people give a shit about me in general, but that would just make him look weak.